You've seen all those clickbait media sites be like, and that's a good thing at the end of their articles, right? Well, it's getting to the point with this weird Andor scene that everybody was talking about yesterday involving Bix. I'm dancing around the words here because this is, a website that is very careful what you have to say. And because of that, the media just went all in praising it. It was really, really weird. I'm like, what's going on here? And if you see all these article headlines, it wasn't just Entertainment Weekly. It was like the entire media, all of them. And that's a good thing. This is a first for Star Wars, right? And it's like, what are they doing? This is so weird. And so I ended my video yesterday saying this is a very clear, coordinated attempt by Disney to generate some controversy for a show that's really not getting that much attention. Andor has had very, very low ratings since its inception, and it's because it's slow. And as much as it is, I watched the first season. I've not watched the second yet. It is well done. It is well written. It's interesting characters. It doesn't feel like Star Wars, right? And it's just because it's so slow, and it is like this very character vignette political drama rather than anything else, and it just that doesn't captivate people's excitement. I also think that a side character from Rogue One just doesn't get people to tune in to begin with, because it's like, why? That guy died in Rogue One. There's not much else to it. Spoilers. But that's it. And so this whole situation came out. And like I said, they're calling it a milestone. They're saying it's important to Star Wars. It's like, why? And the only reason I could come up with is because of the way that they put this as a weird political situation. And if you looked at the way the actor of Andor actually went on Jimmy Kimmel last week and went out there and said, that you have to vote a certain way to be a Force user or whatnot. I mean, it was kind of a weird statement. And it's like, but Force users aren't inherently good or bad, so that doesn't make sense, but hey, none of their stuff ever makes sense. It was very clear he wanted to throw some shade at Donald Trump and the like, and this is exactly what they're doing with this Star Wars scene right here. I mean, the entire point of this is to show that this is a immigrant community. This immigrant community and these undocumented workers are getting harassed by ICE, stormtroopers, and this is exactly what this toxic masculinity leads to. That was the entire purpose of this. Let's not mince any words on it. We know exactly what they're doing at this point. And this is pretty crazy that the media is going this wild over it as well. Let's get into what Entertainment Weekly and the actress says on this front in just a moment. Please hit the like and subscribe button. We're the only channel out here who really talks about a lot of this stuff on this level and gets into the depths of it. And I really appreciate you guys being here. We are unabashedly opposed to Disney and their evil corporate leftism that goes on here. I don't mince words on any of the stuff, and I appreciate you guys for being here. I am also a writer myself. This is my Justified Saga of the Nano Templar. It's a 3-book trilogy, of course, in classic fashion, and because of that, you will enjoy this. They've ruined Disney Star Wars. It's just like a disaster. This really picks up the nice feel of things that you're going to love. It's a ton of action-adventure. It's crusading in space. It is awesome, and check it out, guys. There's a 3-book trilogy. As I said, you can get the first one only $4.99, and they're all available on ebook, print, and audiobook to make it easy for you to enjoy it the way that you like. Thank you guys so much for being here, and grab this in the description below. Support our channel, and thank you again. All right, so Access Media outlet Entertainment Weekly described the filming of sexual assault, and yes, I said it now, and this is how the algorithm, I'm told, works, is that in the first couple of minutes, you got to be a little more careful about words you say and things like that, and then it doesn't sweep as much. I could be wrong, but hey, if you're here, let me know in the comments, because we've had some weird things lately going on, which I'm not going to complain about too much. But it's very clear that we're not being shown to subscribers, which is an interesting thing that's been happening over the last couple of months since about the election happened. I don't know what might have happened there, but I think they did make some changes. In the show's 3rd episode in 2nd season, a sexual assault takes place, and Imperial officer Lieutenant Kroll attempting to abuse his position of power during an inspection to gain production. While the officer and his soldiers are inspecting grain silos, he makes advances on Bix, a mechanic repairing agricultural equipment having fled the planet Ferrix as a refugee. That's right. She and her compatriots are illegal workers brought up to maintain production levels for the Empire because, we can't produce things without the illegals, right? You see all the little subtle stuff that they're throwing into this? During this first encounter with her, the Imperial officer's arrest is interrupted by her partner. And then when he returns a second time, he has discovered that Kayleen and her compatriots are illegal. He attempts to use this as leverage against her, begins to seduce her. She rejects him, and a struggle ensues while he attempts to force himself on her. She eventually kills him and striking him in the face with one of her tools on that level. So this is pretty wild here. As Bix on Andor, Adria Arjona becomes the first actress, so nice, to film an attempted sexual assault. Please clap, everybody. In the Star Wars universe, she tells us more about this milestone. What the frick? I mean, phrasing much, this is really wild. Like, what on earth are these people thinking? And then you start to think about, like, well, who is Entertainment Weekly and who are these people? This is all they think about all day long. These weird little fetishes all the time is it. And so this becomes a weird little fetish for them. And so they call it a milestone. They call it something that's to be celebrated. It's like, well, it's just kind of degenerate, and it's really insulting, because the implication to half of America is actually that, you know, this that there's a toxic masculinity in the Trump administration that's harassing migrant workers is really what's going on. It's not a milestone whatsoever. But if you looked yesterday, every single outlet media, Access Media, Entertainment Weekly, all these all the media vine existing companies out there, we're all on this with almost the exact same message on this as well. And so it was coordinated. And this, to me, tells me it came right out of Disney's press department. They put this out there. They tried to make it a controversy intentionally because there was nothing else to talk about the show. And then they had the media sweep for it in this way to try to make it some sort of like women's rights feminism thing, which doesn't make any sense in this context. Very weird on that level. The outlet was blasted for this. Of course, why does this sound like it's celebrated? Lily's a great account on X. This picture aged poorly right here. This is a movie about space wizards intended for children. She isn't the first either. Disney's been R-ing fans since The Force Awakens. That's pretty funny. And Jonas Campbell says, you misspelled millstone. All this stuff was going out there, and like nobody seemed, what a historic and iconic milestone, said nobody ever. That's a good thing. Not everything needs to be a first-time parade. I think this is one of them. Yeah, it's a great point right there. WTF. People were not really receptive to that messaging by Entertainment Weekly. Absolutely crazy. But I guess they got the engagement that they asked for, right? I mean, I guess that's the whole point here. So this gal talked about it. She said it was challenging because everyone involved in the creation in the scene felt its importance of what the scene meant, not only for the show, but for Star Wars. Oh, yes, please clap again. And like I said, this is where I'm telling you, it's very, very much an allegory for Trump, and that's exactly why it's important to them, because they really think they can manipulate you with these little messages in the backgrounds of films at this point. The thing is, they've just got everybody to tune out is what's going on, but they're not going to stop this kind of stuff. All these people are true believers in their little cause. They're insane, and this is what they want to push at everybody all the time. And so Disney has been all in on this. I mean, guys, you got Andor coming out right now. Kathleen Kennedy is still moving forward. They just did Star Wars Celebrations with her at the helm of it. On the Marvel front, we just came out with Captain African America, and then the Thunderbolts with the Florence Pugh led Thunderbolts team that nobody really wants to watch either. I mean, it's like there's nothing changing about Disney. And then don't forget Fantastic Four with the female sex-swapped Silver Surfers coming out later in the year. They're doing this on every level, even still. This is a feminist production, and it is just ruining things like Star Wars, like we've seen all the way around. So that's what she's saying here. Something Tony Gilroy does. He brings the mirror effect that shows the things that happen in our world can also happen in a galaxy far, far away. And that's it. That happened in our world, and that's obviously about things that are not happening in our world, that they are imagining are happening at the border right now, because they have to imagine that there's this evil Nazi group at the border kicking out these poor, sad immigrants, just like they imagined that guy with, the MS-13 situation last week, where they kept saying in the media, Maryland father. He's a Maryland father who got deported to an El Salvador prison. It's terrible. And this is the same thing, right, in entertainment, in a fake story. And that's what they're trying to do on every level in the culture, because they're mad. They're big mad that we won, because this stuff's insufferable. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Please check out my Justified Saga of the Nano Templar. Really appreciate you guys for being here, and we'll be back soon.